Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Ad Barak. It's time for a party. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy to everyone who comes to this one and catches the message. Bookends, I see you. Trying to see the names. Can't quite see the names. Today's party is brought to you by Tanzania. There we go. Herbert Gauss. Now I see your name. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Ad Barak. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Bienvenido. Welcome. We get together 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. Today's party is brought to you by teachers in Tanzania. See if we can get a more stable situation here. Pardon me while I move things around. All right. Muhammad Hafez, I see you. Allahu assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for coming in on the YouTube side. We got about 7 people in the room. Thank you all for being here. We got some people over on the TikTok side as well. Nicole, let's see here. We're gonna do this. There we go. Sharia Nicole, Isaac Fitzpatrick, Tiki Taka, JM Stories. I see you all. Thank you for being here. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Ad Barak. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We get together at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to speak on ethics in entrepreneurship. And you're probably wondering, why do I have you looking at this cover of a composition notebook. This is an example of one of the notebooks that was used to draw the Mafia Soy comics. Trying to get the haze out of the camera view in TikTok land so you can actually see what's going on. Same for YouTube. You're in the Persian Gulf. I see you. Muhammad, I see you. Mahar bin Israel, I see you. Thank you for joining the party. It's very tabar to have you here. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalamat Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Warahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you all for being here. No matter what I do to try to adjust it, it's not going to get rid of the glare. So eventually we're just going to open up the book and turn the page. This is actually cover art. Now, some who practice Islam will tell you that it's haram to draw. However, there are ways of making calligraphy with the characters that we use to speak. I haven't learned to write out the characters according to the way we would do our literature, so I haven't attempted calligraphy yet. At some point, inshallah, yes, I would like to. This book right here, this book is called MSI, Mafia Soy Initiation. Now, what would that have to do with Teachers of Tanzania? Well, there's a big, long story of how the concept of Teachers of Tanzania even came about. We're not going into that story right now. What I will say is, there's a group of ladies in the story concerning Mafia Files publications, and they are called the Inferno Bella Mafia. They have a certain power where, yes, they can become inflamed. However, they're just like regular people. Other than that, user 329-660-6045. I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim. Shalom Barak. Some would say that it's haram or bad, and it's really because people tend to take pictures and idolize them. I do not intend the stories that come out of me and my friends to ever be idolized. They are stories. They're not to be considered holy scriptures. There are times where I do borrow and quote from the scriptures, and you will find some of my artwork along with it. However, I don't put anything in there that would lead someone towards darkness, not intentionally. And I've asked several times over, may Allah forgive me for anything that I do that would send someone towards the path of Shaitan, the accuser, the one who is looking for a reason to go the other way. I wouldn't do that to anyone. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. Now, I don't do pop-up books or anything like that. It just so happens that when this one started out, my my brother, my friend, one of my partners, he is the CEO, Dizzy, had drawn this section. Now, this part right here had been ripped out because someone needed a phone number or some kind of information or email or whatever, right? So it wound up that Dizzy had drawn this portion and there was a space. Now, this opening sequence, it's actually showing point of view looking at a TV screen with a PlayStation 2 console on top. There's an alarm clock. There's also a cable box. Trap Active, I see you. Sherry GMA, I see you. Familiar name and face. Dale, I see you. Mr. Infinity. Thanks for coming through, bro. I'm glad to see you. Travis Stees. Bienvenido. Welcome to you all. Shem Yahav Alahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Today's party is brought to you by Teachers of Tanzania. And we're getting to the part about the teachers in Tanzania. What we're discussing right now is looking at the storyboard of one of the comic books. This one is called MSI, Mafia Soya Initiation. See those young ladies at the bottom in the office environment? That's Wick and Flame. I actually met two ladies. Now, I didn't shake hands with them and I didn't find out what their names were or anything like that. I was sitting at a Greyhound station in San Bernardino and I was drawing in another notebook. Dizzy, the CEO of Mafia Soy Publications, he had he had already come up with the idea of Inferno Bella Mafia. And I was sitting out at the bus stop trying to come up with some ideas to draw along with things that he had already came with as concepts. Computer for shoes. Computer Fist came to visit over in YouTube. Hashem Yahava Alaikum Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Computer Feast came into YouTube acting very rude. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Now, even though we're talking about ethics and entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean you get to barge in and just say whatever you want to say, even if you wanted to talk about what you're marketing. There's a way that we conduct ourselves. That's part of ethics. I'm not going to read back the comments that the person left. I'm not taking them down either. Your words speak for you. Who is Maya Nicole? Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. So there was this group that Dizzy came up with called the Inferno Bella Mafia. And they were actually intelligent, quite business-like, professional ladies. They just happened to have certain power sets that they could use, and they decided to be beneficial with those power sets. They learned to train them. Along with them, there's the Black Knights, a militia of men. And then there's the Centaurian Pirates. And all of these people hang out in an environment. One city is called Upside Down Gun City. You'll find Upside Down Gun City in Potlatch. And then there's also Shaolin. It's a walled city. 4 walls, 12 gates. There's different populations scattered across the planetary surface that represent these different forms, factions, standards, ways of life. And they interact. Sometimes they clash. Sometimes it's peaceful agreements. All of this is covered in Mafia Soy publications through the different comic books, the different Mafia files. So in this particular picture right here, this is me sitting in a chair. It's the back of my head. This is a bookshelf with some of the titles of the comic books. This is looking at the screen on the wall. This was actually back before they started making real flat screen TVs. It would be more like a projector. Instead of technology, got some gremlins and whatnot down here taking care of business. I'm not into magic. I do understand the concept of dimensions. I'm not here to talk about all that. In this comic series, Mafia Soy Publications, you'll find references to magic symbols. Because yes, in order to know the light and how to oppose the darkness, you have to know how the darkness represents itself. I could tell you things about Malachi Zadok all day and then take you over across the world and talk about Futhor and where that comes from. The idea that Odin was hung upside down, crucified, a raven plucked out his eye. And while he was upside down, he contemplated and came up with the lettering system, Futhor. Those are the first characters that you would see in the Nordic alphabet. What do you know about innovations? What do you know about the fact that we only know about 1/3 of the ocean surface, let alone the fact that places like Nevada and Utah at one time were underwater in a shallow ocean? What do you know about profit sharing? Let's say one organization is becoming very wealthy with their service, their product, and they've been dispersing all across the planet, all across the globe, all across the world, and they decide to give back. They don't just give back in monetary increments. They don't give back in bulk clothing or food or anything like that. They provide all those services by building the infrastructure of a community, reinforcing what it would take to make sure that it would be an interdependent community. You all have heard me speak before. Yes, I have walked for a minute listening with Kofi Ofori. There were many things that he said I agree with. There are many things that he says today I agree with. That has a counterbalance. There are things that he says I don't agree with. He speaks about interdependence, and that is key. Akati Mavis, I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. It's very tabah to have you here. Today's party is brought to you by Teachers of Tanzania. It's the special interest group. What does a comic book and female characters have to do with teachers in Tanzania? Well, we were talking about profit sharing. What if a company or an organization actually did invest in a community outside of the one generating their product? What if they invested in the communities who were buying the product, using the product? What if they in turn invested in the infrastructure, making sure not just that there were decent paved roads, making sure that the whole community's plumbing was decent? We know about what happened in Michigan, subpar pipes leading to illness. We know about poisoning in fresh water. We need some filtration systems. Oh, Omar. O Martinez. Bienvenido. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Manikan life. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you and Denise Faye. Thank you all for being here. Tada. Shukran. Ashante. Gracias. Grazie. Molto grazie. Spasibo. Thank you for being here. Blue Jay, I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imagine profit sharing where a company or a group is beneficial to the same ones who are buying the product or using the service. There was a time when people would tell you, go out and get a good job. A good job comes with benefits. You can get insurance with a good job. You can get paid vacation time and sick time with a good job. You can even get marketing shares of the company with a good job. Jimmy Washington. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. Bienvenido, welcome. That's for you and everybody here. Here's the Black Knights. Who knows about someone named Marcus Garvey? Who knows someone who organized labor unions, workers' unions, organized communication systems, not just in one region, but in the Caribbean, America, and in places of intercontinental Africa, also known as Al-Kebulan. Marcus Garvey led a Pan-African movement. He had cargo ships called the Black Star Line, so that he could transport from the Caribbean across the Atlantic Ocean to Africa and also up to the United States. What kind of workers' unions did he organize? Well, at the time, it was kind of hard for anyone who was considered a Negro or a black man, a recently freed man. It's kind of hard to get trade labor. It was one thing to get some knockoff, get paid cheap, and not be able to survive labor. You could get that. You could get demeaning jobs all of the time. However, some people actually had skills with their hands. Employment wasn't available. This had gone on during slavery times and afterwards. It's one thing to become an apprentice to a master, but if you don't have someone to actually give you work afterwards, you have to go search for it. Many people traveled west and southwest and started working on oil rigs and things like that. There were labor unions needed to protect the laborers. There was a movement. So you had the Garveyites, you had the Pan-Africans, and all sorts of people working together to not only make sure that there were civil rights and human rights, trade rights, and recognition of diaspora, union of diaspora. including trade, including sharing of culture, reconnection. There's a country in Africa called Tanzania. That's one of their going phrases. They are pro entrepreneurship. What would be the best way to be effective if you wanted to do international trade and exchange? What would be the best way to be effective? If you were gaining proceeds from instrumentations like this, making manga and turning it into anime film, and then giving the profit to other special interest groups, what if you reached out to nearby and neighboring communities, reinforced the education models that are available? What if you reinforced the nutrition models that are available? What if you made sure there were community gardens where there are food drought areas? Did you know that there are stores, grocery stores that are being removed from neighborhoods so that while some people only have to travel a mile or so, others have to travel 4 or 5 miles to go and enjoy the comforts of a grocery store? They can go to overly expensive stores nearby, even though they are supposed to be stores that give you discounts as a consumer. Then you have other countries where that's not the issue because the nearby store that you would go to for anything like that, or even the open air market, is a 45-minute ride away on the bus. And that's a minimum on the ride. You might be on the 3 hour trip because you're on one whole other end of it. What if amenities were made so that the water filtration system was up to par? The solar panels outside provided electricity for signals and heat generators. What if there was a watering irrigation system coming from fresh streams? What if the children didn't have to travel 20 to 30 miles away from home to stay away from home all week in a dormitory going to school? What if they could stay home? What if there was a work from home model along with an educate from home model? We can talk about it or we can be about it. We can do it. There's a model and a plan already drawn up. You are welcome to look at the information I have for STOP, STOP, sustenance, textiles, occupations, and purpose. If we were to work interdependently, we could exchange sustenance, textiles, occupations, and purpose. So as I was saying, the country of Tanzania is very big about supporting entrepreneurs. It takes knowing what your talent is and then using that to be beneficial to others around you. Use a product that you can make with ease. Use a service that comes to you with no problems whatsoever. Use that to help others. Make that your livelihood. Let that form a legacy that supports you and your children. That's why you would work from home to show them how to do it. Then your children's children will do so. Your grandchildren hand down the story, the how to. Tia, I see you. Charlie Henley, I see you. Angela Riddick. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. See this writing? People talk about they recite bars. It's a verse. That's a soliloquy. Dizzy and I would draw pictures, and then we would also write verses. There are parts in these pictures that are supposed to be recorded, if not already having been recorded since that time. That's some stuff that's not for PG time. I can't just be saying that stuff. I grew up watching the news when it wasn't biased. I grew up watching news where they reported what happened, and then you were allowed to gestate on it yourself. You were allowed to go and look up the background information as far as the location, to go find out what the crime rates were in those areas, instead of someone telling you a statistic that could come from a blind survey. In some places in the world, it's unheard of to have a woman, a lady, as the leader, as the national leader. Tanzania has a president who's a lady. There's a documentary. That's the difference between watching documentaries and watching movies. You watch a movie, you might get a false story. You watch a documentary, it's going to be interviews about people on location, or a forwarded call, or a video of a video in a video. Mafia Soy Publications is not here just for your entertainment. There were times where I'd be watching the news and I would write down certain headlines that I would hear, or whatever blurb as reading from the teleprompters. Funniest one I heard was right here. Spam causes fear in Shiite and Hebrew community websites. Scientifically processed, analyzed meat causing fear. Showing you this to let you know, yeah, if I wanted to draw the pictures that you see in my videos, it would take me forever to produce what you're seeing in my videos. However, you can see that it's coming from somewhere. Funny thing, YouTube's actually seeing parts of 2 pages. TikTok's only seeing 1. There you go. With 10 special interest groups, Adon willing, I intend to build a network that showcases images, videos, sounds concerning those special interest groups. Each day would be the product of a stream of that particular interest group and things going on with it. That's the whole point of Highest Heights Studio. When I was little, I wanted to run a network similar to PBS. If you tune into PBS at different times of the day, there were different things you could learn. And yes, there were entertainment moments, black and white movie, or sometimes you'd have to turn to a different UHF channel. I come from the times when there was VHF and UHF, rabbit ear speakers, and not speakers, rabbit ear antenna, uh, the funny spiraling back and forth looking antenna, all of them. I wanted a network because as I grew up, the shows that I liked to watch, they seemed to disappear. Were replaced, it wasn't with something that was helpful and beneficial. It was like empty calories. I wanted to start a network. I wanted to have a radio station. I wanted to have a television station. What can we do bigger and better than that? And then along came MySpace. So I could have a website where I could host ideas and post them up and share them. And then Facebook and all the other social media platforms. There were even mobile apps back in the early 2000s where you could speak with people not just in your area code or your zip code or even your country. You could speak with other people in other parts of the world. I came into contact with someone from Tanzania. My interest sparked. So I began to study things about how people go about life in Tanzania. This picture right here, let me move the book so that TikTok land can see everything that's going on with this picture. See, this picture is about my friends and I sitting down playing bones. We're playing dominoes. You can see this tree. But right over here is a table. There's a person right there, person right there, person over here, and person right there. And that's a folder. We were sitting there playing dominoes. And one of the brothers at the table said, I wear this tattoo to remind me to do something creative every day to make sure that I move forward with these ideas in my head to get them out so that other people can share when I'm rhyming or if I'm making music or if I have to get an image out of my head. You see, I spend a lot of time in a community of artists. His tattoo is W dot I dot T dot. Some would say, oh, that's pretty witty. That's a witty phrase. That's great wit. I tell you, no, that means whatever it takes. If you've only got 30 seconds out of the day, write it down, jot it down, hit record. You have a voice recorder in your phone. Record your thoughts. You have a camera on your phone. As much as you enjoy taking pictures of yourself, whatever outfit you've had on, and that last plate of food you ate, how about you take a picture of the things that were already set in place in front of us? Not the things that we fret about, not the things that we make with our hands. What about the things that were made before we were put onto this planet? Take it all in, be thankful, and then go about reflecting on how not only can you preserve that natural wonder and beauty, but how you can also change life to where some of the demands that we are putting on nature wouldn't be there. You didn't see all that coming, did you? The original silver, is that Silver Fox? If so, familiar name and face. It's been a while since I've seen you. VIP, and let's say Folliker, Loliker. Hashem Yehav Elohim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Life today seems pretty ultra violent. Somewhere in the scriptures it says we're supposed to be beating swords into plowshares and learning war no more. The closer we get to people realizing we need food, the closer we get to more urgency towards violence. NOW, nurture our world. Now. One of the characters in the book is Incognito. Can't really see Incognito because he has a special suit made with alien technology. It turns him into a shadowy silhouette. You can barely see a brain with an eyeball, and underneath the brain is a gigantic heart where a person's abdomen would be. In this picture, there's 3 guys wearing that suit. There's a lot going on in this picture. It would take an hour and a half just to tell you. I wouldn't be able to cover it even on Mafia Soy Publications Day. NOW. Nurture our world now. Because really, this is what we're dealing with. They say a bullet has a name on it or no name. Imagine one that has your imprint. Once fired, it's going to trace you until it actually touches you and only you. Alien technology. Got a visitor over in YouTube land. Ayo Sodak. Aso Goat. Seen you here before. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Warahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Aso Goat is asking me if I'm okay. Things are great. We're discussing Mafia Soy Initiation. It's the title of this book. I tell you all that I've written comic books with two of my friends. So this is a session where I'm showing you those books. This is to let you know that when you see videos where I have used AI generated images, it's not that I have to just go to that. Even those images come from a story. The stories are written in books. When you come across books like this in the store, they would call it manga. If you were to line up these pictures and animate them, that's what it would become, an animation, a film. That is the aim and the purpose for this product. It's not just some pictures that I scribbled in a notebook or my two brothers. We didn't do it just as a hobby. We were telling a story. And the offset of that is any profits and proceeds can be returned to any special interest groups that we feel an affinity for. You asked me if I'm okay. I would be a lot better off if people were supporting me with what I do for a livelihood. Because the more I can do my work, the more other people can grow. Professionally, I can show you how to promote your special interest group with an organic marketing strategy. I can show you how to navigate and use 9 different platforms to promote yourself, starting with your website, making sure that it has proper search engine optimization and moving from there. I am not okay because my family is not okay. I am not okay because the plan that Marcus Garvey started out with is not in effect today. I am not okay. I'm not okay because the efforts that Malcolm X put in, they are not in effect today. The efforts that Huey P. Newton put in were stripped from his name, and even as today are not in effect. No, I'm not okay. As long as AIM exists because of stolen territories, misappropriated trusts and treaties. As long as that exists and there's been no justice, I'm not okay. Thank you for asking. I represent 10 special interest groups. They don't generate directly from me. I represent them because I'm willing to step up and say something. I'm not here to debate with anybody. I'm not here to pull on your heartstrings. I'm here to tell you that, yes, I do offer a service. For $190, and that's after taxes, it costs about $175 plus tax. You can either receive my marketing services for a full 30 days, or you can receive tutorship and training, consultation on how to do it yourself. Either way, you would have full communication with me at all times. And to be honest with you, you would know the step-by-step process, whether you pay for the advertising or you pay for some tutoring. Because either way, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, each step. Each picture generated to make a 60-second video or 30-second or even 15-second video. Each picture would become your property, and you would have a picture saved to your device because I'll send it to you. You can be copyright protected for all of your intellectual property. We can start building a hub and a network for you, dedicated to what will help your business grow, because there are things that you can do as an entrepreneur besides stand behind the register and count as the dollars come in. There are going to be times when there aren't any dollars, and you need to find out how to get people to invest in you. We've been on long enough that TikTok is now ready to do the investigation to make sure that there's a person running the live. So give me a moment. The live will end in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification to continue your current live. So it's buffering right now. We're waiting for the screen to open up. Yep, see, it failed before it even opened. Try it again. I'm silent because I'm still waiting for the picture to open up. You all know how this goes. If it gets completely interrupted, we'll just restart. Yep, yep. It's no bueno if it's not working on your end. Now, that's a great way to just hold up all of the momentum. Put your brakes on. Prove that you're human. All right, I'm gonna need you all to reset that because that's not working. You need to fix that. We've got 1 minute and 42 seconds. Like I said, if it drops on TikTok, I'm just gonna restart because we have to have at least a proper closeout. Yep, it's mad at me. It doesn't like what I've been talking about. They don't like how I play with their toys. I'm not okay. Yo tengo hambre. I'm hungry. Yo tengo triste. I'm thirsty. My body doesn't eat likes, it doesn't eat shares. Not okay. There's ways to contact me, and there's ways to link up with me through PayPal and Cash App. No, I'm not okay. I am okay when I am within my work. Some of you are consuming my work, and you're not making sure I've got sustenance. Big Riri, I see you. Lakota, I see you. Fernanda Hua, I see you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for sticking around. We got stalled out and we're going to move forward because we're rocking and rolling. We've been rocking and rolling since before the guitar. We've been rocking and rolling on a boat. We've been on boats even before the boats that nobody wants to talk about because we were traveling, visiting, and casting nets. And that's what this is about. If I tell you that there's 10 special interest groups, that's a network within itself because it means that there's 10 different groups who come together with one idea that they agree on. That's a network. Can you count on one hand the amount of people that you network with where you're actually beneficial with each other? Can you count 10 people? When you do that, you're ready to form a trust. And if you have a trust, then one of the beneficiaries of the trust would be a group that doesn't even have to come and ask you for anything. You just already make sure that it's available. Now, these are plans and precepts that we've already been taught. It's called making sure that there is something available in the storehouses. That's what it's all got to do with teachers of Tanganyika, or Tanzania. Whatever profits that are generated by my efforts with these 10 interest groups, including Teachers of Tanzania, each of them get a percentage back. That's how these large corporations keep each other alive. They're all invested in each other. That's profit sharing. We share our profits with whatever clerk is behind the register right after we receive our paychecks. And then we say, well, it's hard to have those opportunities to start a business because my check is spent before I get it. That may be the case. However, there are a lot of efforts that you can do that don't cost you money, they cost you time. For every time where you see they are asking for you to pay for a subscription in order to use a certain program or app or template, simply look up the version that is free. Use that one. More than likely, yes, you're going to have to put in a lot more effort to use that version, which is free. And that's exactly what you need in your life. Because if there's more involved, that means that there's more involved for you to retain. If you just click a button and everything appears, you're not going to have too much respect for it, nor will your clients, because they will be able to tell the difference between someone who just pushed a button to get something to happen compared to someone who used their time and effort. Why am I showing you these pictures? Because each of these pictures can also be considered an NFT if I were to register them as such. And it's not that I just take a picture of it, post it up, and say, oh, this picture's worth $100. No. I would say I need to generate $100 for this picture because it's going to go towards studio supplies. It's going to go towards upgrades. In my possession right now is 2 phones. I need a tablet. I need a working laptop. Both of those items can cost upwards of $300. I can get a tablet for about $100 that does exactly what I need for it to do. However, the one that is very necessary would be $200. I could get a laptop for $350, but the one that I really need cost about $800. So instead of me using GoFundMe, I would open up an investment portal so that a person could either outright buy some of my materials, these products, these pictures. And it's not that they're buying this copy that's on the page. They have a digital rendering. Well, man, I can get that picture if you post it up on Facebook, or if you post it up on Twitter X, or if you post it up on Instagram, if you post it up on TikTok, I can get the same picture. Yes, but it is not the same. An NFT is the result of a smart contract. When I tell you that I am the sole proprietor of Highest Heights Studio, I could also run through a 7-step outline of how Highest Heights Studio is a business and how it is ran. The same with the STOP program. That's actually an educational, work placement, and also housing placement organization. A smart contract is when you draw up a proposal saying you will offer a service, and then once the service is rendered, it's paid out. That makes that agreement signed and sealed, and now there's a receipt. Because when you're using the Web3 network, things move on a blockchain. Now, when you're using Web2 network with Google, Yahoo, and things like that, when you're going to Facebook, those social media platforms, they do have a blockchain. You don't have access to that blockchain. You can't go in and speak with Mark, whatever that guy's name is that runs Facebook. You can't go in and speak with Elon Musk directly. You can't go in and speak to anybody who's an investor unless you request that list of investors directly involved with Facebook, directly involved with X. Even if you invested into Ethereum under Elon Musk, you don't necessarily have a directory to everyone who's an investor. On Web3, I use the Social World Network. The Social World Network. I'm able to speak with the network administrator, the chairperson. I'm able to speak with the people who built the different apps that interact so that you can visit the different nodes involved in that the Social World Network. You can interact with them. You can type messages to them. You can repost things because they are constantly active. They are constantly relaying information about the next move. Why? Because when you log in, your profile becomes your content creator coin. You now have access to other people being able to invest in you. Everything that you post, every time that you like something, if you buy into someone else's coin, all of that information is posted because every time you give information or data to the network, it means that your signature, your IP, is making a movement along the blockchain. You have a block. They assign you a block with your profile, and it'll tell you this is your birth block certificate. This amount of people also applied for a profile on the same day as you. These are the people who birthed their block on the same day that you did. I've opened up a lot of creator coins in other people's names, along with my own. So if you were to look at my wallet, it looks small. However, if you combine them, it would still look small. It's because I've only been investing a little bit. It was never me taking $1 and breaking it out into dimes and nickels and pennies. I was actually using the tips. People would come and give me a tip for my post, 1 penny. Someone would come along and invest in my actual coin, 10 cent, $1. Then I would go back and I would invest in their coin. So even though the money had been spent, now it's sitting there holding. It can appreciate in value or it can go down in value according to what's happening with the DSO coin. The DSO coin is available to exchange on places like E-Trade and all of that. It's backed with Bitcoin. It's backed with Ethereum, Solera. You know these names. Those are different forms of cryptocurrency. $DESO, DSO. That is also a form of cryptocurrency. It's what I use. The minimum is usually around $8 for DSO coin on the market. Right now it's down to 3. I've never seen it hit 0. I've never seen it go in the negative. The median is around 8. I've seen it top at 12. I've seen it go to 19 and even 21. I saw that it took a dip here recently because within the last year, a second coin and network called Focus was released under the DeSo umbrella. So the same way there is Ethereum coin, there's also Tronex. Now, with the abilities that I told you about concerning the DeSo network, out comes Focus, where you can get bonuses for sharing and promoting other people's posts. That's the benefit of using an NFT as a smart contract. It's not just some little goofy picture. This picture that you see on the screen, that can be a smart contract saying, I need some studio equipment because I would like to actually transfer the pictures from Mafia Soy Initiation into digital context to align the storyboard so that I can begin editing the film. This picture right here, this is actually, I'm looking at the screen. There's little apes in the windows acting like gremlins. This is from a Twilight Zone episode. This part right here, can't see it in TikTok land. This part right here. It's a character developed by Dizzy. It's named the Oracle. Remember that tree that I showed that was blending in with me and my friends playing dominoes? Well, that tree gets tended to by ants and other bugs that are actually heightened in technology. And they build an actual skull that becomes sentient and it lifts off from the ground after development. And all of it's taking place inside of a tree. They build it from the inside out to where eventually the tree is just a shell. It shakes off. And then you have the Oracle, which is actually a sentient satellite. Okay. Rosie. Yohanan loves something. Tia Shay. Hashem Yahav Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about the playground. They don't like how I play in the playground because I come with organic marketing strategies. I come with evergreen organic marketing strategies. Now, this is not a concept that is solo unto me. I get information from other people. I went and watched the videos. That tell you how to generate an audience using organic methods. Sometimes I post some pictures showing you the amount of views and things like that to let you know that, yes, it's a true thing. If I can do it this way for me, with the subjects that I talk about, you have your subject that you talk about. We can get you in front of people who actually care, who are concerned, who would be willing to invest in you and your special interest group. Now, this scene right here, there's a lot going on in that scene. And this isn't the time to explain it all to you. I'm just letting you know that They don't necessarily like it when I show up to the social media playgrounds because I know the rules and I play by the rules. However, I come with my own agenda, and they may want to suggest you to do it a certain way. I've got my own way. Now, in this picture, there's ink. There's also some pencil going on there. There's a lot going on in that picture. And then we have this one over here. It's the Inferno Bella Mafia. Having a situation. You see, two of the young ladies had gone in for an interview. Unsuspecting to them, there was a certain gas being pumped through the ventilation. It would trigger a certain power that they had inside. These two young ladies who were coming to the interview, they didn't realize that they had been scouted. Someone had already been having them under observance and surveillance, had seen them show their powers. So they had been summoned. In that scene, Wick and Flame are ready to light that office on fire. Using their anger and internal combustion. In life, we learn it's never wise to incite someone else to the point of them being inflamed with anger. It's not a route that would build a network that destroys bridges when you inflame a person to that tier of anger. We're here to be vessels. It is said that blessed are those who have faith on what cannot be seen. Blessed are those who have faith on the intangible, what can't be seen or touched. You can't see love as a color, shape, or form. You can't feel love like the leaf on a tree. What you can do is show kindness. Hashtag kindness is contagious. You can feel empathy and show compassion by helping someone else when you see them in need. You don't have to ask them a question. They don't have to ask you a question. You see someone in need, reach out and help them. If you can't help them, find someone who can. And if you can't find someone who can help them, just leave them alone. You see someone walking through a door, open the door, hold the door open for them so they can pass through. If you're walking along and someone's going to cross your path, pause, stop, allow them to walk past. Kindness is contagious. While you're going along having a great day, make sure that you're the reason someone has a smile on their face. Make sure they're having a great day too. Amitabha, Amitofo. That is how you would say compassion in either Chinese or Japanese. Consider making your movements with all compassion. The way that you're keeping counts of the steps that you take every day, it is said for every one step that we take towards Yahweh Elohim, He takes 1,000 steps towards us. That's how far away we are. We take one step. He takes 1,000. How many of you are only a couple of steps away from Yahweh Elohim? How many of you place your steps according to his standard? We come from Yahweh. We shall return to Elohim. May a dawn be pleased when we return. Rabish Fili, Warahmani, Wajbani, Warfani, Warzukni, Wadini, Walfini. Allahu Akbar. O great Rabbi, please give us strength and sustenance as we travel along the divine path, aspiring to reach higher status. Thank you for providing the way, and please forgive us when we make mistakes. Ameen. All praises to the one who gives us sustenance and mercy. Panawati Allah. God willing, let's get back together on Sunday. Let's have a question and answer. We're going to go through 2 more weeks of review and getting to know you, talking about the 10 special interest groups. These next 2 weeks, we're going to give a more intense look at how to apply NFTs and DAO tokens, the way that you would use LLCs and other ways to do crowdfunding and other investments. So we'll be looking at that concerning each of the 10 special interest groups, as well as ethics and entrepreneurship. So till next time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday. Many much love and respect. Thank you all for being here.